Hello YouTube learners, my name is Sam or Sammy and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be talking about how to draw the female torso. If this interests you, make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the video. I will be using Clip Studio Paint. I'm working off of a Huion tablet. For simplicity, I will be sketching with a hard round brush with pressure sensitivity applied for it. Now, the way I like to do torsos is I like to start with two primary shapes, and these will be two oval shapes. The first will be for the rib cage. This will be a bit of a taller shape. Depending on how it's turned, it'll taper to one direction. So in this regard, I'm going to do a 3/4 view, so it'll be tapered slightly towards the right. Now the second primary shape is going to be for the pelvis. This will also be a more spherical oval shape. This one will be wider than it is tall. Just like so. Now, when drawing the rib cage and the pelvis, it's important to know the way they're shaping. So if we're looking at this from a side view, it's going to be like this, with the rib cage sort of pointing up a bit, and then with the pelvis facing down. So as we look at adding some 3D shape to this, we'll want to take that into account. So some of how we'll do that for the pelvis, as we make it 3D, is we'll add this little spherical shape on top. From there, we'll start incorporating it more into a 3D shape by almost turning it into kind of like an underwear shape, or if you think of those Barbie dolls. So we'll go ahead and add this shape right here. And there we go. This gives us a nice little shape there. Now moving up to the rib cage, we'll go ahead and add in the rib cage cavity. Define sort of where the side of the shape is. And then we'll actually go ahead and add in the area where our collarbone will be. We'll use this now to go ahead and define a placeholder for our shoulders. Now this video won't be going over how to draw arms, how to draw legs, though I will show you some simple tips and some techniques you can use to connect them to the rest of the torso. Alright, so now from here I'm going to work on actually connecting these two pieces. Now, the big thing that I find really makes a difference when connecting these pieces is understanding some of the hip area. So if we're looking at our torso from behind, so at the bottom of the torso here, we have our shoulder blades here. Just down here, right above the buttocks, the small of the back, we have these muscles here. Think of them as like your love handles. They taper off, sort of like that, and the buttocks is just around here. Now on the front of our character, we'll actually see that back muscle right here and right here. We want to make sure we incorporate that. So as we come up, we'll go ahead and curve out a little bit, and then back in, and then we'll have it connect here with the rib cage. Do the same on the other side, out, in, and then out again. Here we go. Connect with the rib cage. Now right here we can even finish off this shape here, adding to the stomach, just to define where the stomach area is. Like so. Alright. So now from here, we'll go ahead and add in our shoulders. So to start, I'll go ahead and just define right here, where our collarbone kind of connects. And then, to create our shoulders, we can just follow this bone over the balls. Then it'll connect in just about here, and then here. And then, from there, the shoulder will connect into the pectoral muscles. Now, on a male character, when you think about the pecs, you think about these huge muscles at their chest. Now, women actually still have pectoral muscles, but for the most part, they'll be hidden under the breast tissue. Though, the important thing to know with that is that it is going to connect in here through the armpit, through the shoulder. Once we get to the breast, we'll come back to that just a little bit more. Now from here, we'll go ahead, just add some simple cylinders to be our arm stand-ins. You know me, you know I like adding these little contour lines just to help me know where the 3D space is. Go ahead and add one on the other side, just like so. Alright, now we'll actually see on the back here just a little bit of that back muscle. Oftentimes when you see people draw heads, put the head here, you've got, you know, the neck right here, and then you'll see like this muscle like right here. And then it comes down, you get the collarbone. Now this here is actually part of your back. Depending on how muscular your character is, you'll see it more. So, you know, if you're drawing the Hulk, you got something crazy like this going on. Now, for most of our characters here who are not quite so muscular, you see a much less exaggerated look. It probably tapers inwards more than it does outwards. It might taper out a little bit. There's a little bit more muscle. So we'll have a lot of that same kind of shape going on here with our character at the neck. So we'll go ahead and add in just a little bit of the shape to start. And then to add in the neck, I'll go ahead, I'll follow this rib cage shape through and up. And we'll do the same on the other side. Through and up. And that gives us a good starting point. And then we can just start refining that just a little bit, just like this. Then, just at the back of the neck, got this little muscle that connects to the neck here. Now, oftentimes when you actually start fully rendering your character, this will show more as a little bit of highlight or some shadow, but we are just going to sketch that in here real quick. Just sort of like that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and continue on with the rest of the details of our torso, but first, let's go ahead and hear about the sponsor of this video. This video has been brought to you courtesy of Skillshare's referral program. Skillshare is a video library full of courses of all kinds. From tech to writing, graphic design, and art, if you want to learn it, Skillshare has it. If you're enjoying this video so far, I encourage you to take a look at my Skillshare course that will go further into depth on how to draw both the male and female torsos from the front and back. Go ahead and click on the link in the description to get 30 days of free Skillshare. You'll learn something new and be supporting this channel through it. With that, let's get back into the video. Alright, jumping back into things, let's go ahead and finish off our torso with a bit of extra detail. So to start, we're going to go ahead and go down to our legs here, or I guess our pelvis, and we're going to go ahead and add in some legs. So the way I do this is actually quite simple. Now, we'll do, so if we have our pelvis here, we have kind of this underwear shape that we talked about. What we have here is we actually have a bone comes out here, both sides. That's where the legs connect. They kind of connect down like this. So what you oftentimes see is you have a little bump that comes out here. It'll hit here where the bone is, and it'll go back out. Now, if you have enough meat on a character, you won't see this bump. But if you're really going for sort of an idealized character, then it can be a really fancy way to just make them look a little bit sexier. So we'll go ahead and do that. Have this little bump come down to here. And we'll have it jump back out like so. You can even have it overlap just a little bit. Now on the other side, we'll do the same thing. Like so. Right? Now you can see here, we continue to maintain this kind of like underwear shape. Now, once you actually start drawing clothes on the character, obviously that shape's going to go away, but for example of this, I'm actually just going to add these lines just to accentuate it a little bit. You can even do that if in your finished piece you want to have a bit of extra color there. It's a great way of doing that. So now moving back up here, we'll go ahead, add in just some simple line for the belly button, and then have that continue up. And I'm actually going to go ahead and leave this how it is. I actually really like this look we have going on here. This brings us finally to her chest. Now, a big mistake that oftentimes we can find when drawing in the breasts is that we'll just kind of have our rib cage here. I'm like, okay, well, got our collarbone here. So we'll just draw a big circle here and here. We'll follow that circle up. There you go, breasts. And honestly, if you put some work into it, yeah, they can look pretty good. And depending on the breasts, maybe that will even get you some good realistic looking breasts. However, while breasts come in many different shapes and sizes, there are some good principles we can take notice of. So for starters, is that breasts are not air balloons. So you're not going to get breasts like this. Breasts are not just these weightless, floating balls in the air. Breasts has some shape to them. A great way that a lot of people will look at them, you have your neck here, rib cage, so you can think that you have two water balloons hanging from your neck. And that can give you a good way starting to draw these in. So you imagine them like that. Now a lot of how this plays out, so we have our neck, spine, and here we go, we got a rib cage, is actually as we draw the breasts, is they're oftentimes flatter on the top and then rounder on the bottom. Now the reason for this is due to gravity. So the weight's pulling the fat of the breast down, which creates more of this shape on the top. Now, obviously breasts come in many different shapes and sizes. And of course, when you add in the different kinds of bras, this can certainly vary quite a lot. A good principle to remember is that without a bra, the breast should never be passing this halfway point. At best, if you have really large breasts, is maybe they're pushing up against each other. Though then again, even without a powerful push-up bra, that is relatively uncommon. So going back into our character, we can sort of define out the general area we want to put our breasts. We can define in where the top of the breasts will be. So right here, this will be the top of the breasts. And then down here can be more of the bottom of the breasts. So with that, you can push down a little bit harder and actually get proper breast shape right here. Just like so. And we'll have that connect in sort of that shoulder area there. Now on the other side, we'll go ahead, have a nice round bottom to the breast, come back around. Now this is more on the side, so we'll actually see it connecting here with the pectoral muscle going into the armpit. Have the breast come back up. Now, the fattier part of the breast is maintained more so in this shape right here, and then what we get up here is more of the pec muscle, sort of in the same way we would have on a male character, just like that. So as we have more of the weight down here, we're going to have more of a standard sort of pec muscle up here. From here, I always like my contour lines. If you've been watching my channel, watching my Skillshare, you know I like these. Just to help define some of the 3D shape. Alright, perfect. Now from here, you'd simply go through, you could lower the opacity on this, create a new layer, just nicen up the lines a bit, that way it shows a bit better. I won't waste your time with that today, but here is now how you draw a female torso. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please make sure to like this video and subscribe. Make sure to also take a look at my channel, where I've created more tutorials and topics that may interest you. If you want to delve deeper into this topic or any of the other topics that I've taught on my channel, make sure to head over to Skillshare. If you use my link below, you can get 30 days free. You'll learn a lot of interesting information, as well as be supporting this channel. Make sure to take a look at my classes there over on Skillshare and learn, because learning is the best if we're all honest. If you have any ideas for things you'd like to learn in the future, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'll take a look and see what I can do. And until next time, keep on learning.